What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into my 4.0 NFL mock draft. Wasn't going to do it, was going to leave it at 3, but hey, a lot of rumors have been happening. We got announcements that we want to get out to the channel. I said, hey, why not give you a mock draft while I give you those announcements? But in the condensed housekeeping for today, number one, if you want to support us, Patreon link down below. You can get these mock drafts ad-free. You can also get all of our podcasts ad-free as well. The ad that you'll see in this video, you'll hear about BETUS about halfway through. Their sign-up bonus is down below as well, 125%. When you sign up using our link today, that is down below. You'll hear more about that later in the video. But the two big announcements, number one, MVP will be live for the NFL draft again. We're usually live every Thursday, night one. We go ahead, we react to it. It's a great time. But this year, not just night one, we're going to be live for night 2 as well. Friday night, JD and I will be streaming night 2 of the NFL draft. So that means round 1, round 2, round 3. We will be live for it. Come and join. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss it. And the other big announcement is coming up this Monday. I'm recording this on Friday, so Monday before the draft. If you're catching this after Monday, it's already live. But Monday, we will have a live stream. JD and I, 3-round mock draft special as JD and I go through the board one last time. JD's got some teams. I've got some teams. He's got the evens. I've got the odds, or he's got the odds. I've got the evens. Can't remember which one we agreed on, but we'll be going through rounds 1, 2, and 3 live on the YouTube channel on Monday about 6:15, 6:30 Central Time. So that's about, 7:15, 7:30 for my Eastern folks. You've got 4:15, 4:30. Sorry, Western folks. It is early for you. You can hit that, put it on your phone, listen to it or watch it. Well, don't watch it while you're driving. Listen to it on the way home from work or while you're at work, finishing your day, fixing my chair. But let's get into this. Let's just get right in to my mock draft. You'll notice a little bit different for this one. I had to look at different mock draft simulators because I'll be completely honest here at the front, little rant for me, but I usually use mock draft database simulator, but the way they do their trades, it has to be fair. So I don't like that because I have some trades that they don't have what I have in the trade, which would make it fair. So I'm over here. I'm using, what is this? I want to say this is NFL Draft Buzz is the website I'm using. So a different look for our little database for today. But I'm going to hit start draft and we're just going to get right into this. Number 1, Da Bears are on the clock. This is still the easiest pick in the book. Yeah, Caleb Williams. He's numero uno right off the bat. It's going to be Caleb Williams. It should be Caleb Williams. Bada bing, bada boom. Then we got number 2, and this is where the spiciness comes into play because JD and I talked about on the draft room. Go check it out. Link down below. I'll put it in the description for you guys. What should the Commanders and Patriots do at 2 and 3? And the Commanders at 2, they could trade the pick. However, their GM has come out and said they're not going to trade the pick. They're going to stay put. And they've hosted all 4 quarterbacks. But the big 2 that people are talking about are Jaden Daniels, or Jaden McDaniels, as I like to call him, Jaden Daniels and Drake May. There's been line movement on the betting sites that apparently it was Jaden Daniels at minus 350. Now it's gone down, and, Drake May has gone from plus 250 all the way up to almost even money. Nobody knows what the Commanders are going to do here. There's also news coming out that I've seen that Jaden Daniels, via his agent, doesn't want to play for the Commanders. So the Commanders are kind of in a catch-22 like John Elway back in the day. Whoa, Eli Manning with the Chargers. I don't want to play for you. So the Commanders are in kind of a sticky situation. Do they draft Drake May and say, we're just going to avoid Jaden Daniels? Jaden Daniels gets his wish. Do they, too, say, you know what, screw it, we're drafting you anyways, we have that power, you don't, this is how a draft works? Or number 3, do they do like the Chargers did with Eli Manning? Hey, we're gonna draft you, but then they will trade to another team. Do we see a Giant move again where it's like, hey, Commanders take Daniels, the Giants have been rumored to go for a quarterback, they go ahead and kind of trade for Jaden Daniels? Nobody knows. I'm kind of in the group of, hey, if you're the Commanders and you like Jaden Daniels, draft him and everything will be okay. And that's what I have. Let me go over to quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders. Do they trade him after they draft him? I don't know. I do not have them trading him in this. They are drafting him. He's the one that'll fit best with Kingsbury, their offensive coordinator. This is something where it's like, hey, you know what? We'll draft you. The bad blood coming in, we're going to have to do our due diligence to kind of work that out, but we will draft you because you are the best option for this team. Then at number 3, you may notice number 3, number 4, you're like, Ricky, whoa, I don't see Patriots, I don't see Cardinals. There's some buffoonery going on here. Number 1, we have our first trade of the mock draft, and that is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles trading up for 3. This is one I know people are going to say, whoa, Ricky, this is never going to happen. I don't care. This is me kind of speculating. So in this trade, A.J. Brown from the Eagles, he's going over to the Patriots. Patriots are going to give up the 3rd overall pick and their 4th overall pick, 103, to go ahead and get A.J. Brown. Here's kind of the reason why I'm thinking this. 1, complete speculation. A.J. Brown changed all of his social media to Tom Brady and the Patriots. He's following Patriots that are already on the roster right now. I see this and I go, oh, okay. It's kind of like Justin Fields when everyone's like, oh, it doesn't matter that he unfollowed the Bears and unfollowed all of his teammates. It didn't matter. He wasn't going to get traded. Come on. They do they can say they do this and they don't do this because of reasons. We know why they're doing it. So I think here it's also a reasonable explanation. Patriots need wide receiver help. They have Jacoby Brissett, who isn't an elite quarterback, but can be a bridge quarterback for this year if they don't want to draft any of the ones in this draft, because let's be honest, it's kind of an overall weaker draft class from the quarterback position. Maybe outside of Williams, but maybe you even throw Williams in there depending on how you're feeling. Brown and the Eagles, they have butted heads in the past. I could see where the Eagles are like, yo, we need to get rid of him because he's turning into a headache each and every day. How Sirianni might not want to deal with him anymore. And here's the big reason why I think the Eagles are okay saying, hey, we'll take a 1st, we'll take a 4th, even if you think that's an underpay from the Patriots. First off, I'm basing it was an 18th overall and a 4th for Brown the last time. The 3rd, he has gotten better, but yet again, the headache comes into it, so it could be an underpay. Let me know what you think down below. But I got the Eagles doing that because they're like, hey, we could jump the Cardinals, and we're going to go ahead and take the best wide receiver in the draft, Marvin Harrison Jr. You are now a Philadelphia Eagle. Devonta Smith, Marvin Harrison Jr. You're basically getting a 4th, replacing Brown with Harrison Jr., shock trade of the draft, kind of matching last year with the Texans. Like, whoa, they just maddened this in the NFL draft. Eagles jump ahead. That leads to the Cardinals at number 4. And I think the Cardinals are then sitting there going, whoa, what do we do? Harrison was our guy. And they're kind of a team that it's like, you know what? We can go ahead and kind of make a pick here. I immediately, if I'm the Cardinals, I'm picking up the phone. I'm going, yo, what do you want? What do you want? I don't want to sound too panicked, but it's like, hey, you've called us before. That trade's still on the table. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. And I've got the Broncos answering the call. And the trade I have here at number 4 is the Cardinals are going to get Patrick Surtain II, the 12th overall pick and a future 3rd. In exchange, they are going to send their 1st overall pick at number 4 and their 2nd round pick, I should say, number 35. The reason why I'm thinking this, and I'll explain it while I have the trade up so you guys can still see it, is the Broncos are trying to alleviate cap room or cap problems because of the Russell Wilson trade. That means Patrick Surtain, Cortland Sutton, those are the 2 big ones that are on the block. They've already traded Jerry Jeudy. And if I'm the Cardinals here, I'm going, hey, you know what? The cornerback class is not as deep as the wide receiver class. I also would rather have a young wide receiver rather than the youngest of the cornerbacks. Surtain, he's about 24, 25, and he's going to turn 25 this season, so he's relatively not old. So it's like I look at it and I go, okay, Surtain himself is worth a first and second round pick. That's why I put the 4th overall and the 35th overall in there. But then you got to look at it. Hey, this ain't like some lower end first round pick. This is the 4th overall pick. So that's where the 2 additional picks come. Because it's the 4th overall, give me a first, give me a future third. That future third might even be a future second. You could probably even get a future first out of it. Maybe I'm looking too low there, but that's kind of the deal. Surtain their 12th overall future third for their first and second, 4th and 35th. So that means the Broncos are on the clock here at number 4. And I think this is easy. If the Broncos are trading up, I've had it in the past. If they're trading up, they're going after a quarterback, and that quarterback is Drake May. So I've got Drake May here to the Broncos, kind of what I've said, where it's like the Broncos, Sean Payton seems to like him. He's the one that they're drilled in on. And Sean Payton, I think, is not going to want a Patrick Mahomes-like situation where the Saints were going to move up. They were going to move up. They didn't. Chiefs got Patrick Mahomes, and, the Saints didn't. I'm not saying that Drake May is Patrick Mahomes, but that's the situation here. Doesn't want to get burned twice like he did before. Then we got the 5th overall pick, and you're sitting here noticing, Ricky, I see a team that isn't a team that has the 5th overall pick. What's going on? Trade, and another trade. We're going to make it 3 in a row here. Ding, ding, ding. The Vikings move up, and I'm going to say clear as day. You saw from my shirt, I'm a Vikings fan. Do I want this to happen? Absolutely not. The Vikings are going to give up the 11th overall pick, the 23rd overall pick, and their first round pick next year just to move up to number 5. There's a couple reasons why I have it like this. And you might be saying, Ricky, why are you having your own franchise, the team that you have on your shirt right now? Why are you having them get absolutely robbed in this? 2 thoughts here. Number 1, Chargers have made it public that they're only going to trade if the deal blows them away. They're not looking for a fair deal. So that tells me, okay, I'm going to have to overpay for the 5th overall pick. With how the board is right now, Caleb Williams gone. Jaden Daniels gone. Drake May gone. There's kind of a thought that it's like, okay, it's either J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix. Now, personally, I would say keep 11, 23, take a defensive player, take Michael Penix, call it a good draft. I don't think the Vikings are going to do that, though. I think the Vikings are, from what I've seen and the front office and how they've talked, they're going to be over aggressive. And with how the board played out right now, I think there might be a little panic in their mind. That's why they're going to be even more aggressive, really overpay for this 5th overall pick. If they're trading up, they're going for a certain quarterback, even though I will say I wouldn't be a fan of this pick by any means. Like, if I'm trading up, in my perfect world, Michael Penix is the guy. I am praying, hoping, willing into existence. I'm hoping this is Io DeSumo 2.0 for me. I'm wishing that Michael Penix gets to be a Minnesota Viking. But if we're trading up in this scenario, I think the Vikings are going to draft J.J. McCarthy, and my little heart is going to be broken. So yeah, Vikings trade up for J.J. McCarthy, even though I'm not happy about it. I wouldn't be happy about it. You're going to see me possibly pout, throw a tantrum on the stream if this happens on Thursday. McCarthy, Drake May, I don't want. Michael Penix, Michael Penix is the guy I absolutely want. I'd be fine with Jaden Daniels. McCarthy, Drake May, get him out of here. I don't want him. I don't want him anywhere near this team. Then we have the Giants, and the Giants have an interesting situation here. They could trade back, go with the quarterback and Penix. They could also say, hey, we can go wide receiver. We're sitting here. Roma Dunes is here. Malik Neighbors. I think the Giants, if the board is playing out like it has right now, where we got, 4 quarterbacks in the top 5 are gone, I think they are going to be extremely generous and extremely thankful if one of the 2, but if both of the top 2 offensive linemen, offensive tackles are there for them, and that's why I got them. I personally like Olu Fashanu more than Joe Alt. Joe Alt, Fashanu, either one of them is the pick for the Giants there. I just have Olu being that guy. As I've said before, 85 total sacks given up last year. You got to fix that. You have to fix that. Fashanu, the guy for the Giants at 6. Then the next two, kind of easy picks. They're picks that I've made before. They're staying the same. Titans, if Joe Alt is there, they're going to go ahead and take Joe Alt at number 7. And then the Falcons, I don't see them going anywhere else but the edge rush position. And for me, I'm going with Dallas Turner. I've got Dallas Turner as the number 1 edge rusher. So Tennessee, let's take a look up here. Yeah, Tennessee and Atlanta. Joe Alt, Tennessee Titan, got to protect your quarterback. Number 2, the Falcons, they're going to go with edge rusher. Dallas Turner is the guy. Almost thought about having the Falcons trade back, maybe go with a different edge, but at the end of the day, no, you take the best edge if that's what you're going to do. Reason why I was thinking on having them trade back is a team that I have at numero 9, number 9. That is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're at number 9. Bears are trading back. Okay, Bears fans, Bears Nation, Bears, listen to me here. So, if you're a Bears fan, you're sitting here, Ricky, why didn't we just take Roma Dunes? Why didn't we just take Roma Dunes? Caleb Williams won a Dunes at 9. It's fallen there for us. Even if you don't take a Dunes, why not take Brocky Bowers? Give Caleb Williams more weapons. Here's the thing I'm kind of sitting on when it comes to Bears. The Bears only have 4 picks. You've already used 1. That means when we get to the number 9 pick, you got 3 picks this year. In a team that isn't done. You're not done adding pieces and young talent to this team. So because of that, I look at the Bears and I go, okay, although I would absolutely love to add Roma Dunes here. He would be my guy. I love Roma Dunes. He's my favorite wide receiver in this draft. We got to make a trade. Jaguars call up. There's a guy they really want. All they want is the number 9 pick. Bears are going to give them that pick, but in exchange, they want their 17th overall, so they'll swap first rounders. Then they want a 4th round pick, so they're going to get 116 from the Jaguars, and then also a 5th round pick, which will be 153rd. Let's go ahead, let's boost up. So now we're swapping firsts, but now after the first round, instead of having 2 picks, I've doubled my picks to now 4. Not the most picks in the world, but hey, after the first round, I've doubled my picks from 2 to 4, giving me more draft capital. The Jaguars are trading up, and why I think they could be a team that could look for a trade up, because they're looking at a wide receiver. Apparently a wide receiver that's really high on their board is Malik Neighbors out of LSU. In this situation, I have them trade up to 9. Take Neighbors because the Jets probably won't look wide receiver if how the board is going. I'm just going to say it right now. They're taking Brock Bowers there. So you've got Brock Bowers at 10. He's going to go and be a Jet. They weren't going to go wide receiver. Malik Neighbors, you got to look with how this board is shaping up right now. Chargers could be a team looking for wide receiver. Cardinals could be a team looking for wide receiver. There's no way Malik Neighbors was going to fall all the way to 17. Jaguars are going to make their trades, move up, get Malik Neighbors ahead of the Chargers, ahead of the Cardinals. Go ahead, get their guy. Jets, it's easy. Brock Bowers, apparently there's a couple teams. The Chargers are high on him. The Bears are high on him. The Jets are high on him. Most NFL insiders are saying there's no way he gets past number 10. We're here at number 10. Brock Bowers, boom. He's going number 10 to the Jets if he doesn't go before that. Then we take a look at the Chargers. They made a trade with the Vikings. I'll show that to you one more time. It just happened, but just in case. They move back to 11. They get 11, 23, and a first next year. I've got the Chargers here being very thankful. Like they're not mad. They're like, okay, you traded up for Malik Neighbors. I'll just take Roma Dunes. Like, this is a team that could have gone offensive tackle, could have gone wide receiver. With how the board is right now, I love Roma Dunes. He's personally on my board the number 2, maybe the only one that could challenge Marvin Harrison Jr. for number 1 in the class, even though I do think that Marvin Harrison is the best wide receiver in this draft class. Roma Dunes getting him at 11 for the Chargers. Absolute steal. They'll be happy with that, adding a young weapon for Justin Herbert with Quentin Johnson on the other side of the field. Hi, everybody. Just want to take a quick moment out of today's podcast to tell you about our sponsor for today, BETUS, a sports book that has it all, whether it's basketball, hockey, football, soccer, whatever you like to bet on, BETUS has you covered. And they are offering our viewers and listeners today a 125% sign-up bonus just for using our link down below in the description. So go ahead, use that link down below and get your 125% sign-up bonus, BETUS. And now, let's get back to the podcast. Then we have the Cardinals. If I'm the Cardinals, I'm a little mad right now. Malik Nate, like I'm sitting here, I was thinking, okay, there's a chance I don't get a wide receiver, but the Bears could go offensive tackle, which could shape things up. I'm not that upset though, because this Cardinal team has other needs. Wide receiver isn't the only one. So if I'm the Cardinals here, I just say, okay, all right. You look at, I'm blocking it. So they have 12 where they're at right now. They also have 27, which they got in their trade with the Texans last year. So they're kind of sitting here and they're going, okay, we're not gonna panic here. Another need of ours is corner. Losing out on Harrison hurt, but we traded back. We're going to go ahead and kind of switch it up here. Quinyon Mitchell, he's the one that I have ahead of Arnold. They're going to go ahead and take Mitchell here out of Toledo. He's going to be their top first pick in this draft at number 12. You kind of pivot. You pivot and move. Maybe they'll look at wide receiver later in the draft, later in this round, none other. Then we get number 13 and we get another trade here. The Raiders, they called. They picked up the phone. Somebody let us move up. We want a quarterback. Guess what? Didn't happen. So Raiders sitting here at 13. They could make a move. They could make a pick. They have needs, but if I'm the Raiders, hey, getting some draft capital might not be the absolute worst thing in the world. So the trade that I have here, they're going to add a ton of draft capital. One thing from the graphic here that I will say, the pick for the Rams who are moving up, that is wrong. They're not getting the 9th overall, should say the 13th overall. So Raiders send their 13th overall pick over to the Rams. The Rams are going to give the Raiders the 19th overall pick, a 3rd round pick, which will be 83rd overall, and then 2 5th rounders, 154, 155. So the Raiders add 3 picks outside the first round in this draft. They move back in the first round all the way to 19, and they are sitting here at 13 overall. And that's where the Rams, I think there's a main reason they're doing this. Aaron Donald, I almost said Sam Arnold. I don't know why. Maybe I was thinking Sam Darnold, but Aaron Donald retired about 2 months ago, little under a month ago, let's say, or over a month ago. They need an edge rusher. They're going to move up for a guy that a lot of people like. The Saints, they've been a team that's really high on him. Even though some people like Turner more, Jared Verse, there's something special about him. Rams, I think, hey, we're going to trade some picks. We're going to move up. Let's get our edge rusher to replace Aaron Donald. I think Aaron Donald kind of switches up their plans. They originally thought, hey, we're going to have him. Now we don't. He retired. We need to fix that. Let's go ahead and get Jared Verse, develop him into that number 1 edge rusher that we had with Aaron Donald. Then the Saints, they're a little angry. They're like, what? The Rams moved ahead of us? Jared Verse was our pick. However, this team also has other needs. Edge rusher, they could go with Latu. That wouldn't be that much of a reach, in my opinion. But I look at it, it's either Latu or you're going offensive tackle. And I've got them going with Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. They say, hey, Verse was our guy, edge rusher. We're going to pivot. We're going to go offensive tackle here. So kind of having backup plans here is what I see a lot of these teams doing. Oh, you jumped ahead for our guy? That's okay. We got a backup plan. We got a guy behind it. Fuaga, it's going to be a nice pass protector for Derek Carr and the Saints. go ahead, take him there at number 14. Then we have the Colts. Could go wide receiver, could go offensive tackle, with Neighbors and Dunes both being gone. I see them looking at this board and going, hey, if we can get either of those top two corners, Mitchell, Arnold, any of them, that's going to be our pick. So I got Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. He's going to go at number 15 to the Indianapolis Colts. Then at 16, this is an interesting pick. They're a team that needs offensive line help. They're also a team that needs edge help. Latu is there. I got him a little bit lower than the 11th overall pick. So that's why in my mind, I'm going offensive line here. I'm going with J.C. Latham out of Alabama. This is one, Seahawk fans, I want to know what you think here. Edge rusher's kind of been the one that I've been thinking about for the longest time. But with how this board was playing out, you got Fuaga's gone, Verse is gone, Arnold is gone. Like, this is one, maybe cornerback wouldn't have been on their radar, but I've looked at it and it's like, you know what? Verse would have been the guy here. Maybe you can go at Latu, but this team, one of them, like, it's a flip of the coin. Latham, I see as rising up boards, could be the one at 16. But Seahawk fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Good pick, bad pick? What would you do down below? Then we get to the Buffalo Bills, and you might be sitting here going, whoa, wait, Ricky, cue the graphic. Number 17 was not the Bills. It was the Bears, but remember what I said here. Originally Jaguar pick, then got traded to the Bears. Now we're sitting here, it's the Bills. How did it become the Bills pick? Let me make sure I'm going to cue up the right graphic here. That's because the Bills are going to make a trade. They're going to move up to number 17 in the draft. The Bears, this is another mistake on my part. I apologize, but I'm going to correct myself. The pick from the Bills should not say 27. It should say 28. So the Bears get the 28th overall pick in the first round. They're going to also pick up a second round pick, as well as a future 5th round pick next year. So already with 2 trades, the Bears have, after the first round, they were only going to have 2 picks. They doubled it to 4. Now they've added 5, and they've added 1 more next year. So now as a Bears front office, I'm feeling a little better. We went from 2 picks after the first to 4 picks after the first to now 5 picks after a first. And we got a second round pick, which I believe the Bears were missing. They didn't have a second round pick. Now we do. We have a second round pick in this draft. The Bills move up, and the main reason why they are moving up is they need a wide receiver. But not only that, apparently the Bills are high on a guy, and that guy's name is Brian Thomas Jr. If they want to go for Brian Thomas Jr., they're going to have to move up for him. That's the way I look at it, because you've got teams that could use wide receivers. The Bengals are one of them. You've kind of like, you look where the Steelers were. They're down here. Cardinals are right ahead of them. They could take a wide receiver. The Chargers, they took one, but hey, who's to know? They lost 2 wide receivers. They could double up on wide receiver in the first round. The Eagles, they took Marvin Harrison, but maybe they double up on it. The point is, there's teams that could go wide receiver ahead of you. So that's why, hey, let's give up some draft capital. We're a team that's in the playoff hunt. Let's go get our guy. That's why I got them trading up for Brian Thomas Jr., a guy that is reportedly high on the Bills board. Then you go ahead and look at the Bengals. This is a pick that I made in my last mock draft. I think it's going to stay true here. Byron Murphy, the third. Yeah, no, the second. I was right the first time. Byron Murphy, he's going to go ahead and be the guy, D lineman out of Texas. That's to me the number one need. If he's there for the Bengals, they run that ticket up to the podium. They take him 9 times out of 10. Then we get the Raiders. The Raiders were the ones, remember, trading back to let the Rams move up to add a butt ton of draft capital in this draft. At number 19, I've got them getting the guy that they would have taken at 11, Michael Penix. Now, I will say this. Michael Penix going at 11 was criminally low. Him going at 13, criminally low. Him going at 19, death penalty. That's what this is. It's like, if criminal, it's the death penalty. There's no way Michael Penix should go this low. Will he go low? Probably, because people overlook him just like they overlooked Will Levis last year. But I look at this and, hey, the Raiders, they big brain move. Hey, we're going to take Penix anyways at 13. We traded back to 19, got the guy that we wanted, and got draft capital. We see this every year. There's always a team that's like, hey, this is the guy we want. We're going to trade back. He's still going to be at the pick where we're trading back to. They get their guy that they would have taken early on, and they add draft capital. The Raiders, we'll see if they're smart enough to do it. Maybe this is too big brain of a move for the Las Vegas Raiders. We will see. But Michael Penix going to be in the black and silver in this mock draft. Then we got the Steelers. I got them going with a pick that I've had them make before. They're going to go with Nate Wiggins, the cornerback out of Clemson. Then we go with the Dolphins. They're going, so last mock draft, I had them go Latham. He's not here anymore. That offensive tackle, they need a guard or a tackle. So with this one, you might say, hey, you kind of lucked out, because they're going to go with a guy who could play either one of the other. I got them going with Troy Fuatanu out of Washington. Is he going to fit at guard? Is he going to fit at tackle? Who cares? Let's draft him. Figure that out at a later date. So the Washington lineman is going to go to Miami at number 21. Then we have we've got the Eagles here at number 22. Earlier on, they were the ones. Let me click right here so you can kind of see it. They took Marvin Harrison early on. This pick used to be with the No, this wasn't the pick that was with the Cardinals. This is their own pick. I'm losing it with how many trades that I've had here. So they moved up, traded AJ Brown. Let's throw that back up there. Traded AJ Brown to get the third, which got them Marvin Harrison. They're now got their pick here at 22. And I've got the Eagles, hey, staying to plan. If they didn't get 3, they were going to take this guy anyways. And now they get Marvin Harrison and this guy. They're going Cooper DeJean, the cornerback out of Iowa, adding 2 Big Ten prospects to this team, hitting wide receiver, hitting cornerback. Let's go, fly Eagles fly, is what they're going to be saying. Then we get the Chargers here at 23. This was one, let me put up the right graphic. This is one that they got from the Vikings being over aggressive. Used to be with the Texans, then got traded to the Vikings, now got traded to the Chargers here, 23 overall. I've got them saying, hey, we got our cornerback early on. We didn't, no. Still showing the Cardinals for some reason. They got their wide receiver early on. That's what they got. They went Rome Odunze. So I'm like, I thought I had Rome going there. They had Rome Odunze earlier on. They're sitting here. They're going, hey, we could go tight end, but let's be honest, outside of Brock Bowers, none of these guys are going to go in the first. Another big need for them is offensive tackle. And I see Mims sitting there, and I'm going, hey, Amarius Mims, come on down. The tackle out of Georgia is going to be going to Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers. So Mims goes to the Chargers at 23. Then the Cowboys, this is a pick where they need offensive line help. I think they're just going to take the best one. I got Graham Barton, the tackle guard prospect out of Duke, being the guy for the Cowboys with how the draft has played out as of right now. Then the Packers, I think cornerback is going to be what they target. I had this last time. I'm having it again. Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be the guy for the Packers here at 25. Then the Bucs, this is an interesting one because there's really 3 things they could go. Wide receiver was big, but, Mike Evans is back. It's really between corner and edge. You got Bucs Nation kind of saying, are the Bucs going to really prioritize cornerback over edge rusher? And you look at it, the top corners here, like you could go Rakeshaw. Then you got Lester. Like really, TJ Tampa's been rising up boards. Kitchens, who's been in first rounds. I take a look at this and I go, there's no corner that I want to take here, but There's an edge rusher here who's been falling. Latu out of UCLA. He's going to be the guy for the Bucs at 26. That's an absolute steal. Then I've got two wide receivers going back to back. The Cardinals, they go ahead, finally address that wide receiver spot. They're going to go with a guy that I like more than others, Keon Coleman at number 27, to be that guy on their team to develop into number 1. Then you got the Bears, who took Caleb Williams at 1. They've traded back twice now. They're going to go with Troy Franklin. How I see this, Keon Coleman being the guy who was the number 1 in Florida. He's a nice sized receiver, can catch the ball over the middle, can catch the ball on the outside. This guy I love for the Arizona Cardinals. And then Troy Franklin, you got DJ Moore, you got Keenan Allen. Give me a big, tall body over the middle. Troy Franklin, he wrecked the middle of the field for Oregon last year. Give me that. You've got your 2 wide receivers on the outside. You have your tight end in Cole Kmet. Go ahead, get your big body, or really your tall wide receiver in the slot. Oh, Troy Franklin would be a wet dream for the Bears here at 28. Then we got the Lions. I'll be completely honest. This pick befuddles me each and every time, and it's the only reason because I take those needs and I kind of throw them out the window. I don't know what the Lions are going to do. I'll be completely honest. GM Dan Campbell, who's their head coach, I don't know what Johnson or Campbell are going to do. So I try to guess the best I can, and that's why I don't even know if this is going to be their pick, but Jackson Powers Johnson, I'm just trying, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find a thing they need that's not necessarily number 1, because they seem like a front office that need be damned. We're just going to take the best guy that we like, who fits a need, even though it's not number 1. The Lions are living in my head rent free when it comes to mock drafts, man. I don't know what they're going to do. So Jackson Powers Johnson, JPJ, he's the guy for the Lions at 29. Then the Ravens, I think they're going to take a wide receiver, whoever the best one available is. That's going to be Mitchell out of Texas. He's going to be a Baltimore Raven. Then my last 2 picks, 49ers, they're going to take the same guy they took in my 3.0, Tyler Guyton, the tackle out of Oklahoma. And then with the last pick in the draft, I have our last trade. We got the Chiefs trading back. They're going to take 47, second round pick. They're going to take 107, 4th round. They're going to add a second, add a 4th, trade the 32nd overall pick to the Giants. And what are the Giants going to do here? They're going to take a quarterback, Bo Nix. Come on down. Bo Nix is a Giant. The only reason why I have this trade happening, I think the Giants are going to take a quarterback in this draft. And with Bo Nix, I want that option. I want that option on him. If I trade him, if I need him, if I don't need him, I want that 5th-year option on him. That's why I'm going ahead making this trade for the Giants. So, with that being the first round, let's go ahead and recap. Number 1, the Bears taking Caleb Williams, quarterback. 2, the Commanders are going to go with Jaden Daniels out of LSU. The Eagles are going to trade up to 3, take Maserati Marv at number 3 out of the Ohio State. Broncos trade up to 4. They're taking Drake May out of UNC. Vikings trading up to 5, taking J.J. McCarthy. Please don't let it happen, even though I think it will. J.J. McCarthy, quarterback, going 5 to the Vikings. Giants at 6, they're going Ola Fashanu. Titans at 7, Joe Alt. The Falcons at number 8, they're going to go with Dallas Turner. The Jaguars moving up to 9, they're going to take Malik Neighbors out of LSU. Jets at 10, going to go with Brocky Bowers, Georgia. Number 11, the Chargers. They're going to take Roma Dunes at 11. Cardinals are going to take Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback out of Toledo, at 12. 13, Rams move up for Jared Verse, replacing Aaron Donald. The Saints, they're going to take Talise Fuaga, the offensive tackle out of Oregon State, at number 14. The Colts take Terrion Arnold, cornerback from Alabama, at 15. The Seahawks at 16 take J.C. Latham, offensive tackle. Seahawks fans, let me know if that should have been Latu, if it should have been an edge rusher. At 17, Bill's going to move up, take Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver. They're going to trade up for the guy they want. Bengals taking Byron Murphy, D lineman. Raiders, they trade back, get their guy, Michael Penix Jr. at 19, quarterback out of Washington. Steelers at 20, going to go with Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson. 21, the Dolphins, they're going to go offensive line help. Troy Fatanu, the guard tackle out of Washington. 22, the Eagles already took Maserati Marv. They're taking Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa, at 23. Or at 22, pardon me. 23, the Chargers, they're going to go ahead and take Amarius Mims, offensive tackle from Georgia. 24, Cowboys going to go with Graham Barton, the offensive lineman. Packers take Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback out of Bama, at 25. Almost at 26. 26 is coming up here. Latu, the edge rusher out of UCLA. He's going to go to the Bucks at 26. Cardinals take Keon Coleman, wide receiver, at 27. Bears take Troy Franklin, wide receiver, at 28. The Lions take JPJ, Jackson Powers Jr. I keep saying Jr. Jackson Powers Johnson, pardon me, guard out of Oregon. Then the Ravens take Mitchell, the wide receiver out of Texas. And rounding everything out, Niners take Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. And the Giants, the G-Men, trade up to 32. They take Bo Nix, the quarterback out of Oregon. So that's going to do it for my 4.0 here in the NFL mock draft. Remember, we will be live for Thursday and Friday night of the draft right here, the MVP Sports YouTube channel. Hit that sub button. Join us. JD, myself, going to be hanging out for the first 3 rounds, reacting to every pick in the first 3 rounds. Also, tune in Monday, 6:15, 6:30 Central Time, PM Central Time. JD and I are going to have our 3-round mock draft special live here on the MVP Sports YouTube channel. It's going to be a great time. If you want to support us, check out the Patreon page. If you want to join the Discord Grace Community Universe, that is down below. Everything is in the description. Let me know what you guys think of this draft. Good, bad, ugly, down below in that comment section. What do you think for your favorite team? Who are you excited for the draft this year? Want to thank every one of you for watching, liking, subscribing. My name is Ricky Widmer. This has been my last mock draft, personal mock draft. And as always, have a good day, everybody. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.